It's already open. I've already taken off all the tape. So you just lift up the cardboard, check it out, and let me know what you think.
Oh, it goes that way. It goes that way.
One of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a photographer is simply not printing your own photos. Let's talk about it. Reason number one is hardware failure. Now look, I don't know if you've ever had a hard drive die on you, but it kind of sucks. And unfortunately, that's just the truth with hardware. You can back up your photos to so many different places as a safety measure, but at the end of the day, you never know. What if all 3 of the hard drives die? It's happened before. But you know what hardware and technology can't affect? That's right, you guessed it, printed photos. So this is actually a perfect example of what I mean of hardware failure, because I've had this external drive for a long time now, and unfortunately this thing is on its last legs, but luckily I have backed it up to another drive already. But yeah, hardware can fail at any moment, so perfect example. So this next one, I want you to think of it as a time capsule, because the photos that you've already taken and the future photos that you will take are a time capsule. You're capturing that exact moment, outfits, hairstyles, everything. And I always love looking back at old photos of myself growing up, because it's just fascinating to see who I was as a person during that time. But what's even more beautiful is getting to see what your parents look like when they were younger versus what they look like today. It's beautiful getting to see them kind of age through photos. And of course, I always have a soft spot for my pets. So photos of my pets always bring back so many wonderful memories. And that's something that only printed photos can do. So yeah, time capsule. All right, don't mind me. I switched to shorts because it gets really hot here in Texas. But for this next one, we're gonna be talking about home decor. Now, whenever my wife and I first purchased our home, we didn't really have a lot of frames hanging around the house. And if we did, they're usually from like Ross or your local craft stores like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I'm a photographer. I should have some of my photos up. So whenever you add your own photos to your space, it helps to inspire you to create more, and it also makes your space more you. In fact, now that I think about it, we have a photo of the Flatiron Building from New York in our restroom, and sadly enough, I didn't take that photo. So today we're gonna replace it with one of the photos that I took in my most recent trip to New York last year. Let's make it more us. On top of that, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Printique by Adorama. I've actually been using them for years whenever it comes to printing my own photos for my own personal work and also for professional work like weddings. I highly recommend them because your prints come out looking fantastic without any color correction whatsoever. And if you're interested in printing your photos, check the description down below because I have a link there for you to use. So this next one's gonna sound a little crazy, but hear me out. And it's simply that printing your own photos makes you a better photographer. Now I know what you're thinking, you're probably like, Marco, how in the world does printing your photos make you a better photographer? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I actually have an old print right here of my local hometown. Absolutely adore this photo. But when I start looking at it really close, I notice that there is a dot right here, and that dot is simply because my sensor was dirty. And that's something I didn't catch in the edit or even whenever I posted it to social media, because we're so used to seeing our photos on tiny little screens that we miss all of the imperfections and errors that we make. Versus when you print it in a large format like this, it's definitely more noticeable, and that's what's gonna make you a better photographer. And last but not least, and actually it's the most important one, and it's simply sharing. And I say that because whenever you share your photography with a loved one or a client, I can guarantee you that that gift is gonna be so much more meaningful than anything else that you can think of. In fact, again, shout out to Printique, because they actually sent me some photos that I took of some clients of mine, and I'm actually surprising them with those photos. Well, actually, I kind of already did, so let me show you what that looked like. So this is Naomi and Jacob. Whenever I reached out, I told them that I wanted to interview them as a couple, but I actually lied, so that way I could surprise them with one of their portraits.
All right, so as a couple, how important is it for you to have printed photos of each other?
Ooh.
I think it's pretty important.
I would say I
To
view
have
it
at
as
least-
more important for me.
Okay.
The memories are really important to me. I have a million photos on my phone, on my laptop, everywhere. I love looking through photo albums. Yeah.
Okay.
I think for me it's important so that you can just kind of see them as you're walking through your house or sitting down.
Right.
You don't have to be like, oh, you know what? Let me pull out my phone. I want to show you some pictures. I want to look at some of the pictures
Absolutely.
we have together. It's just like, oh yeah, you just see them in day to day.
So at this point, I asked them to go ahead and turn around and just stare at their house and basically told them I was going to get some B-roll. Awkward shot, I know, but I had to find a way to get to my truck so I can get the surprise portrait. And actually, this is the photo that I chose because Naomi actually has this as her profile picture on social media, which is one of the best compliments that any photographer can receive. And then this is what happened.
All right, so don't turn around yet.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, I kind of lied to you. That's not why I'm here. So actually, there's this company that's called Printique. I don't know if you've heard about them. Printique by Adorama. They're based out of New York, and they print photos. So they actually wanted to sponsor one of my videos, and they gave me some credit. And you can turn around. I actually went ahead and printed this for you.
What? Oh my word, it looks so nice.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I have heard of them. They're awesome.
Yes, they are. So anyways, I wanted to personally
so
come and give this to
nice.
both of you.
Aw.
So yeah.
That is so sweet.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So
it looks beautiful.
Isn't it crazy
Yeah.
seeing it like actually printed large compared to just like on your phone?
Yeah.
It's very different from the phone.
Isn't it? That's
In a good
awesome.
way, yeah.
Yes.
This is Karina and Orion, and they recently got married and chose me as their photographer. So just like Naomi and Jacob, I decided to surprise them as well. So whenever I first showed up to their house, I had Karina and Orion open up the first two images, which is the one of them and their pets, and also the one of their kiss during the wedding.
Oh, it goes that way. It goes that way.
Wow.
I'm gonna cry.
And because they were my wedding clients, I also went ahead and printed them a 20 by 30 print.
They went all out on this one. So check it out.
Oh my goodness.
This is for you guys, gift from me, and also a gift from Printique because they went ahead and sponsored my video for this. So yeah,
Dude, thank you so much.
absolutely.
Well, I consider this a win because they gave me a hug, and they also had this to say to Printique.
Thank you, Printique, for the photo.